Halloween comes early to the Major World Order YouTube channel.
You're listening to the Major Pod Network, the only place where your favorite toy store, card shop, arcade, theme park, and arena are all on the same block. Scratch that major itch.
The following announcement has been paid for by the Major World Order. Major World Order.
Welcome back. I'm Billy Peck. I'll be your host for this special unboxing and review of Michael Myers from Living Dead dolls. If you're not already, please check us out wherever you listen to podcasts, Major World Order, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all at Major World Order, patreon.com/Major World Order. And if this is your first time checking us out, I can't hold things. Thank you for coming and checking us out. If it's not your first time, you know that from time to time I will do a little unboxing and discussion of the new Living Dead doll product. My wife is a big collector, and I'm a big horror fan, so I have a little bit of knowledge in this department, especially when it comes to Michael Myers. He's my most favorite horror movie character, slasher, my favorite film franchise, all of that. So talking about Michael Myers on the Major World Order channel is pretty cool, since most of the time we're covering wrestling and other collectors and the stuff that they're into. But this time, this is my time. This is our time for the ones that are enjoying Halloween. So, Halloween 2, Living Dead doll presents Halloween 2, Mezco Toys. You've got, pretty basic box going on. I mean, you got the figure art on the back, on the sides, the art of the house behind him, all in orange, pumpkins, Halloween colors, and that big open window for the people that like to keep the stuff just as is in the box. And maybe, hey, if you go to a Halloween or horror convention, maybe you have that opportunity to meet Dick Warlock, who played Michael Myers in Halloween 2. But we don't keep things in the box here, not very often anyway, and especially not during an unboxing review. So I'm opening this bad boy up, and we're going to start talking about the figure, the doll, I should say. Okay, hey, you don't really get to see this in the back, but nice little, art, from the film. You get to see the mask with the blood, rolling down the face from the eyes after Jamie Lee Curtis stabbed him. Iconic look for old Mikey Myers. The inside bubble has this protection over the top, and then you pull him out. You pull out his little knife, and of course you got the salt packet of gel. Throw away. Do not eat, because it's not actually a salt packet. You know better than that. As I was pulling out the knife, I saw it's very pliable. Not gonna, I suppose if you bent it in half, it's gonna, break, but it's not just easily gonna break. Not too bad. Fits right in that doll C grip hand. You can either, you know, have him walking with it like that. You can put the arm up in the air, have him put it in a more stabbing situation. I personally, you know, Michael Myers, he walks with authority, and carries his knife as he strolls through the streets of Haddonfield. My display at my ottoman is not necessarily the best for figures because it's a leather one, and the moment that you push down on it, it's cushy. It makes them fall over. So we'll just use the box, which is also kind of flimsy because I took all of its contents out, but whatever. You get the point. As I've talked about before with these Living Dead dolls, keyword dolls, they are not highly articulated figures, though they have started to put those out, and I did review one of those, Sadie, their original creation, in another video that you can search through the product reviews playlist. But yeah, if you're finding this channel just because you like Halloween and Michael Myers and all that, but you're not familiar with the Living Dead doll product, again, they are dolls. You know, they were an original product that Mezco put out where it was all of these, their own, again, original creations, their own characters, and they would give you a death certificate, and they seem to have moved away from that a little bit. They've been going back through the vault and putting them out as more ultimate, articulated, all kinds of accessory type figures. Like I said, I already talked about that with the Sadie, but a lot of times they're basic, they're dolls. They have, you know, up and down arm, you know, side to side swivel, no elbow, no wrist, no knees, no waist. You know, the head moves a little, the legs move a little, the arms move a little. That's it. You know, the features of them, you know, the hands, you know, they're dolls are, you know, babies or infants or children. You know, so you look at them, it's like, okay, they're kind of like kid hands. Again, it's a doll. But I will say, you know, a lot of times, like, yes, some of them, the faces will still have that doll-like quality with a little bit of a macabre thing to it. But like this, now, yes, the Michael Myers, the doll-like features are still kind of there, a little rounded, but there is a lot of nice sculpting in this. The hair is, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, very nicely packed down. They put in, you know, not real hair, but, you know, hair, not molded. The nice thing about Halloween 2 is they made that original mask that, you know, based off of William Shatner's Star Trek Captain Kirk mask, spray painted. They ripped the sideburns off, and on one of the sides, if you can see that, and if you know the Halloween history, you know all this nerd stuff, but if you don't, there is like the latex of the mask, like kind of like tore, or like, you know, it was not like ripped a hole in it or anything, but like it left a marking, and they have that sculpted into this mask, which is a very nice detail. The second film, you know, the first one came out in 79, the second one came out in 81, pretty sure. But if I'm off a year, then, you know, can't remember every single little detail all the time. But it's the only movie that used the original mask. Some people always kind of debated it because the actors the first movie, primarily, it was Nick Castle. The second movie, primarily, it was Dick Warlock. But their face, Nick Castle, kind of a longer, skinnier face, more narrow face. So that mask kind of, looked more narrow. The second film, Dick Warlock, kind of a more rounded face. So the way the mask fit around their faces gave the appearance of a different mask, but they were the same mask. So the fact that they here's where we'll get into this. And I always say this when I'm reviewing one of these, and my wife has another one of them. But here is the part 1 mask, and I'm comparing for the first time. They are the same mask, the same head sculpt. Yeah. Yep, same head sculpt. This one slightly whiter. This one very slightly darker. This was a newer mask. This one wasn't. I don't know if that was by intention or not, but if it was, nice little detail. This is a classic case of reusing your molds, getting the most out of your molds by releasing it again and then just putting the blood coming down the eyes. Like I said in the second film, I think they're in the hospital. Does Jamie Lee Curtis get scalpels? I'm trying to remember exactly what it is. Something like that, and pokes the eyes, and he's crying blood because it's his sister, that it's revealed and all of that. The coveralls are also slightly different color. I would imagine that from the first to the second, those probably weren't the same. More of a blue, more of a lighter shade. So again, not as fresh. I'll say too, so they may have used the same coveralls, sorry. There is a slight difference in the sewing patterns. I mean, it's such a, whatever thing. But what I really want to get to is, again, these are, the original one has, a little bit of like a darker brownish wash on it to give it that dirty appearance, where very subtly, I'll just, again, this is for us. We're talking between the two of us, me and you, the watcher. I could get up and get detailed pictures and all that, but we don't do that here. We're low production around here, keeping it simple. But regardless, there's some little slices, some little tears in this to show that this is a Michael Myers that has been through a little bit of damage. He's seen some stuff. And so that's a nice little detail that they've done. Pockets on the back are definitely different. So it is very, I think, that the coveralls are a little different, but I don't know how big of a deal that is to you. If say you're like, hey, I already have this one, is it worth it for me to get this one? Hey, that really depends on you. How big of a Michael Myers fan are you? Or did you miss out on this one and you're like, well, I could get this one. I want to give, I'm not going to give like all the best information, but I want to try and give you some good information to use moving forward. This Michael Myers, he's got a little bit more of a tan, if you can see that, the original one. But so I mentioned his hair being slicked back, and it feels very like. I mean, it's not like it's hairspray, but somehow they've got it to where it's like compacted together. Where this one, Michael has, he used a blow dryer. It's all fluffed out, blown out, very full. And honestly, I'm trying to remember if this was like this. And just over time, maybe not. I don't remember for sure, but I guess time will tell. But there's a little comparison there. And then, just for the heck of it, because I have it, now talk about the hair really being blown out. This is Michael Myers from Halloween 2, but Rob Zombie's remake. Where his hair is far more wild on the mask, of course. The mask is far more beat up. The coveralls are absolutely different. The knife is also different. Not that, these are 100% meant to be completely different. But I figured, what the heck, why not pull all three out and show you the differences. So part 1, part 2, remake part 2. Here's the new guy. He's cool. Again, if you're a big Michael Myers fan and you're looking for something a little different, I think it's worth getting, especially, so other than like the masks changing over the years or whatever, Michael Myers has a look. And if we're talking those original films, that's kind of it. I know there's a couple little exceptions here and there, but so getting this look with that blood streaming down the eyes, down the front of the mask, one of the iconic looks of Halloween history. I think it's totally worth getting, so make sure you go to Mezco Toys and get your Michael Myers Living Dead doll. I hope you enjoyed talking about Halloween with me and, talking about the Living Dead dolls. A fun line that continues on and doesn't seem to be, maybe slowing down in some areas. Like I said, they're not putting out a ton of their own original characters anymore as far as like new ones moving forward, but they still got a lot of cool stuff on the plate. So if you enjoy Living Dead dolls, thank you for checking out the channel and checking out my quaint reviews of them. So I'm Billy, this has been the Major World Order, and thank you for watching.